Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Tracy L. Silver here. I am back. It has been a minute. It's been a while since I have made a post to my personal transformation channel. And I'm actually going to tweak. It may not be officially called this, but I'm going to call this my spiritual journey of transformation, my spiritual journey of transformation. And I want to cover some very important things today. First off, for those of you that may be watching this content for the first time, or maybe since it's been so long since I made a post to this channel, I want to remind you that one, this is my personal video journal. So first and foremost, this is for me. This is where I'm doing a video journal instead of just writing it down. I'm doing a video journal. I want to be able to come back weeks from now, months from now, years from now, and to really see my growth. So that's number one. Number two, it's to leave a legacy for my children and my children's children. So when I'm no longer in this physical dimension, that my unborn grandchildren, since I don't have any grandchildren now, can look at, hopefully they'll call me G-Pop, for Grandpop, okay? So they can look at G-Pop and they can learn from G-Pop. I believe that all lessons in life come accompanied with pain, but it doesn't have to be our pain. I want my children, I want my grandchildren to learn from my pains. So in this video journal, I'll be talking about triumphs, but I'll also be talking about breakdowns. And it's oftentimes the breakdown comes first and second and third and 17th and 179th before the breakthrough or before the triumph. So it's for my family, my children, my children's children, perhaps even their children. And then lastly, for anyone that is looking to start their own journey or accelerate their own journey of transformation, you want to become the best version of you. And my prayer is that as I share and I'm vulnerable in sharing, that it will have a significant positive impact on those of you that this type of messaging resonates with. Now, real quickly, okay, I'm going to be talking about my spiritual journey. So I'm going to use a lot of references from Christian texts. I'm not here with this journal. I'm not here to convert anyone to anything, okay? I grew up, in the Christian environment, grew up in the Christian church. So a lot of the principles that I apply to my life, I love the scriptures. I approach the scriptures from what lessons can I learn? What principles can I extract from the scriptures? Not necessarily how I grew up with the scriptures. And so I'm not here to talk doctrine or anything like that. Again, first and foremost, these video posts are for me, okay? And if they bring value to you, all the more, okay? If they don't bring value to you, that's okay. That's okay. Watch someone else's content or create your content and send it to me, okay? All right. So I want to talk about a breakdown that I've been dealing with. And I'm not prepared to say that I've had a breakthrough just yet, but the fact, what I'm going to share about what happened today, I believe is at least the genesis of a breakthrough in this particular area, okay? Now, before I do that, I want to talk about what transformation means to me and what a spiritual transformation or being on a journey, a spiritual journey of transformation means to me. So I'm going to go, I want to show my screen real quickly. Bear with me. Okay, so here's a definition that I found on Google, and I love this definition about transformation. personal transformation. Personal transformation is how we change aspects of who we are, what we do, and the life that we lead. Okay. Personal transformation, therefore, is it's an intentional, conscious commitment to getting to the point where I can say, I'm going to do this in the I, where I can say, I am who I want to be. And I'm far, by the way, from who I want to be. I am doing what I want to be doing. Now, I will tell you what I'm doing right now is a small part of what I want to be doing. And that is really sharing my heart, being very vulnerable, and sharing that for me in the form of my own journal, and for my children, my children's children, for anyone that wants to listen. So this is a small part of what I want to be doing, but I want to do this on a larger scale. Okay. And I'm living the life I want to be living. I'm not there yet. I'm not living the life I want to be living yet, but this is my spiritual journey of transformation. Now, I don't believe that I can become the best version of me without connecting to my source. I believe that I am created in the image of the Most High God. I believe that I am created in the likeness to be like the Most High God. Now, I'm saying I'm not God. All right. I'm not the Most High God, but I'm a part of God, I believe. I believe that you are created in the image of the Most High God to be like the Most High God. You're not the Most High God. None of us are to be worshiped. But I believe that every single human being that has ever walked the face of this earth has had godness in them. And so what I want to do is I want to live from my place of godness. I believe that we are divine humans, that we were created, I believe, spirit beings first, eternal spirits that now are residing temporarily in this physical dimension, in these physical bodies. Okay. And so the fact that I'm bald, the fact that I have brown skin, the fact that I have a little facial hair, that's not who I am. This is just my physical frame. But who I am is so much bigger than this physical frame, I believe. So my spiritual journey of transformation, now, again, I'm going to share with you a breakdown. And I don't believe I'm at the breakthrough yet, but I do believe that what I got today is going to catapult me to the breakthrough from the breakdown. All right. So my spiritual journey of transformation is this. I want to live more and more and more and more and more and more from my place of godness, who I was created to be, like God, in God's likeness. And so I want to flow in and emit what I call God's energy. So in the Christian text, in Galatians 5:22, it calls it the fruit of the Spirit. Now I'm going to put the word unconditional in front of these, but the fruit of the Spirit, or what I like to refer to as God energy. So this is what my journey of spiritual transformation is to get to the point where, from a default setting, where I don't have to think about it, where I don't have to consciously think about it, just like I don't have to consciously think about breathing. It's just a part. I want to get to the point, I'm not there, I'm far from there, where I don't have to think about operating from a place of unconditional love. I'm putting the word unconditional there. Operating from unconditional joy. Again, in the Christian text, Galatians 5:22, that it calls it the fruit of the Spirit. I call it God's energy. I want to operate from as a way of my default way of being, unconditional peace, no matter what's going on around, no matter what the circumstances are around, I want to be at peace. Am I there now? No. That's one of the reasons I'm doing this video journal, because I want to come back 6 months from now. And I want to be able to see how much progress I've made when crap is happening all around. Am I more and more coming from a place of peace? Unconditional patience, unconditional kindness. Can I be kind when someone darts in front of me on the highway or cuts me off? Can I be kind if there is a word that's used that taps into a wound that I have? Working on that. Got a lot of work. Unconditional goodness, unconditional gentleness, unconditional faithfulness, and unconditional self-control. Okay? So let me come back on the screen here. Give me a moment. Okay, so I want to talk to you about a breakdown that I've had recently, and I have stewed in that breakdown. Okay. I want to tell you what I believe is the genesis of a breakthrough that I had today as it relates to that breakdown. And again, I believe that in order to get to the breakthrough, very often I'm going to have the breakdown or breakdowns first. Okay. All right. So not long ago, a person that I love dearly, a person that I respect dearly, of a person that I care for dearly. I had an interaction with this particular person, and I know this person loves me dearly, and I know that they care for me dearly, and I know that they respect me dearly. And in that interaction, there were some words exchanged that were deeply painful for me, deeply painful. The words hurt. The words cut. At least that was my experience. Okay. And so it wasn't just what was said. That was painful enough for me. It was how it was said and when it was said. So it was a what, a how, a when. What was said, when it was said. I'm sorry, what was said, how it was said, and when it was said. And it was painful. It was painful. Okay. And I have stewed in it. So I was going to a family function today, and the family function was about 40, 45 minutes from where I live. And this interaction happened several weeks ago. But I was thinking about the interaction. And as I thought about it, and I do believe that our thoughts create, our thoughts expand. And so whatever we think about, we're creating and we're expanding upon. And so I was stewing in it almost the entire drive. I was thinking about the interaction, and I was angry. I was hurt, pain. I was angry. Okay. And so then I was with my family. We had a great time, had an absolutely phenomenal time. And now I'm coming back home. It's another 40, 45-minute drive. And once again, I was in the anger stewing. I was in the anger stewing pot, just simmering. Okay. And I got to the point. Now remember where I want to be. I want to move in unconditional love, unconditional joy. I wasn't moving in joy, unconditional peace. unconditional patience, unconditional kindness. And the person with which I had this negative interaction, let me not say that. The person with which I had this interaction that I took from the interaction as being adverse. My thoughts towards them in that moment wasn't kind. My thoughts towards them in that moment wasn't unconditional love. I was thinking, you hurt me. What you said hurt. What you said was cold. What you said was callous. What you said lacked sensitivity. Now I want you to hear everything that I just said. What you. Where was my godness in that thinking? Where was my godness in that thinking? And so I got to the point that I really started getting fed up with how I was feeling, what I was experiencing sitting in that stew pot of anger and you did this and you did that and why did you do that and why did you hurt me? So finally, I started to tap into my godness. And in tapping into my godness, I asked a question, and I asked this to God. Please show me where in my past this has come from. In other words, I'm dealing with a more current situation, right? But it has had a significant adverse impact on me. Where in my past did I have a situation where what I recently dealt with reminded me unconsciously or subconsciously, and so that I am now in my stew mode, I am reading. I am reading from a place of pain. I'm reacting from a place of hurt. Where in my past, dear God, dear Heavenly Father, where is what I'm feeling really coming from? Because I want to live from my place of godness, and living from my place of godness, I don't want to be the victim. I don't want to say it's his fault or it's her fault or it's their fault, because as long as I'm saying it's his fault, her fault, their fault, I am not coming from my place of godness. I'm not belittling my pain. I'm not belittling what was said. What was said hurt. But I don't want to stew in this because I wasn't operating in God's energy. I wasn't operating from a place of unconditional love. I wasn't operating from a place of unconditional joy or unconditional peace or unconditional patience or unconditional kindness or unconditional goodness or unconditional gentleness or unconditional faithfulness or unconditional self-control. As a matter of fact, I was not showing God control, because for 45 minutes, almost the entire trip on the way to where I was going, I was stewing. And not quite 45 minutes on the way back. Thank God that I finally had the presence of mind to realize I'm stewing and I don't like how I'm feeling. And now, instead of me looking outside of me, his fault, her fault, their fault, let me look on the inside. So here was my prayer. Father, and it wasn't some religious prayer. It was a very quick prayer. Father, show me that area of woundedness. I believe that when in a current moment, we feel a kind of way, as my daughter would say. In the current moment, when we feel activated or we feel triggered, I believe what that is telling us is that there is a place, maybe deep down inside our unconscious being, our subconscious being, that is a place of woundedness that has not yet healed. And maybe we're not even aware of it, in which case it is what I would refer to, as my personal transformation group refers to it, as a blind spot. And so I just ask, Father, where's this coming from? And it didn't take long. Now, I will tell you, I've become more self-aware. I ask this a lot of the Most High, more and more and more. And the more I ask him, the more things get revealed to me. I don't always get the revelation right away. I don't always get the discovery right away. But usually when I ask, where's this coming from? Not long after that, it appears. And that's exactly what happened while I was on a backcountry road. It appeared. Something happened 37 years ago. Now, when it appeared, it didn't say, ooh, something happened 37 years ago. But I was reminded of an incident that happened, and I happened to be 16 when it happened. And I'm 53 now. So I was able to deduce, wow, something happened 37 years ago that has been a place of woundedness for me, that I did not recognize was still a place of woundedness. And so what happened not long ago, just in more of the current situation, was what happened, words that were said, how it was said, when it was said, took me back 37 years ago. And so my unconscious went back 37 years ago and brought what happened 37 years ago into the current moment. And it just compounded what I was feeling, what I was experiencing. And so now, because I know that, I can work on releasing that. And I'm going to do that right here, begin that process right here on camera with you. Okay. And no, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a pastor. I'm just a person that believes that the Most High has commissioned me, has assigned me to share my spiritual journey of transformation with whoever finds value in what I'm sharing. And please, I ain't figured none of this stuff out. I am in preschool. I'm not even in kindergarten yet. I am coloring all outside the boxes. I am still eating paste. I am putting glue on my fingers and peeling it off like it's skin, if you remember doing that, okay? All right. So now that I have that realization that a large part of my adverse experience with more of the current situation goes back to pain that I experienced at 16. Now I want to begin to release that. And I want to do it right here on camera. So I just recently got into the house and I wanted to come on camera while all of this was fresh, while it was raw. So I'm going to go to the Most High. Now, I'm not going to do a standard religious prayer. I'm just going to talk to him. Just going to talk to him. Dear Most High, first, I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for your unconditional love of me. Your unconditional, unbridled love that has no judgment, and has no condemnation. Father, I asked you to show me where the depth of what I was feeling, where was that coming from? And very quickly, you showed me an interaction that I had when I was 16, 37 years ago. And so, first, Father, I pray for your healing oil and your ointment, your salve, in that place of woundedness. And the person, and I won't say their name, I'll just use an initial, JM. I send to JM unconditional love. I release JM. I have held JM wrong for that interaction. JM, like me, was a kid. I was 16, JM was probably 15. I release JM and I send nothing but unconditional love to JM. And by the way, I am visualizing who JM is. I am visualizing presence of the Most High God as an unconditional loving presence. And I am visualizing that there is this embrace of JM of unconditional love, an embrace of JM of unconditional acceptance. I send unconditional love and unconditional acceptance to JM. And now I release Tracy, yours truly, me, from the pain that happened 37 years ago. And I pour oil and salve and ointment into that once wounded area. And so now I send my way the same unconditional love, unconditional acceptance, unconditional like of me, unconditional forgiveness of me. And now I'm thinking of the person that I had the recent interaction with. And I won't mention their name. I won't even mention their initials. I'll just close my eyes and I will visualize them. And I send you unconditional love. I send you unconditional acceptance. I send you unconditional peace. I send you unconditional joy and unconditional kindness and unconditional goodness and unconditional gentleness. Unconditional faithfulness, unconditional self-control. I send your way God's energy. And I release you. I made you wrong. I was angry at you. I was mad at you. And now I release the anger. I release the feeling of being mad. And I just see you as God sees you, part of him. It was not your intent that I have an adverse reaction or an adverse experience. That was never your intent. And I know that. This is my spiritual journey of transformation. And again, I'm not going to come on here just talking about triumphs. I'm going to talk about the breakdowns, because it's the breakdowns that lead to breakthroughs. I want to offer some a source and some resources. I want to challenge you, those of you that are watching this, to look. If someone has, whether it's recently or whether it's been decades ago, if you've been offended by something someone said, something someone did, how they said, how they did. This isn't to belittle, particularly if it was some type of violation. If they violated your space, or they violated your boundaries, or even worse. This isn't to belittle that. This isn't to say that what happened shouldn't have happened. This is so that you can release. This is so you can begin to heal. Because the person that I was thinking about in the more current situation, even if they came to me and they acknowledged what the role that they played in with the adverse experience that I had, still, I had stuff that had nothing to do with them that happened 37 years ago. I don't want to be dependent on them coming back and apologizing. They may never apologize. And even if they did, that it happened. What I want to do is operate in my godness. I don't want how someone else does things, says things to God over me, to Lord over me. And that's what I've been doing all of my life. But I don't want to do that anymore. Let me go back. Let me go back to this. Give me a moment. I want to go back to a personal transformation is how we change aspects of who we are, what we do, and the life we lead. Personal transformation, therefore. Give me a moment. I want it to be on screen so you could still see me here. Hold on. What happened? There we go. All right. Personal transformation, therefore, is an intentional, conscious commitment to getting us to the point when we can say, I am who I want to be. I don't want to be angry. I don't want to give away my power. I don't want circumstances or how somebody else treats me to Lord over me or to God over me, because I don't get to dictate how they respond to me or how they react to me or how they interact with me. I don't get to control that. What I can do, and really the only thing that I can do, is work on me. And that means to work on me, I got to stop looking outside of me. God's not just somewhere in the clouds, he's in me. And tap into the inner godness that's already in me. Personal transformation, therefore, is an intentional, conscious commitment to getting us to the point when we say, I am who I want to be. I'm doing what I want to be doing. I'm living the life that I want to be living. My spiritual journey of transformation is to flow in and emit God's energy, unconditional love, unconditional joy, unconditional peace, unconditional patience, unconditional kindness, unconditional goodness, unconditional gentleness, faithfulness, and unconditional self-control. So I want to give you a source and then two resources. The source, God. I believe we're all created in the image of the Most High God, after his likeness, to be like God. What I just did a few moments ago, that was a prayer. That was me having a conversation, an honest, transparent conversation. I need your help, Father. There's that residue. I need your help. Show me what it's rooted in. I need your help. Help me, help me, help me. I want to live in your energy. I want to project out. I want to emit your energy. I want other people, when they interact with me, I want people, as they watch this video, Father, to feel and sense and experience your unconditional love. So resource number one is actually source number one. God, I implore you, start conversing with God, not from a religious standpoint. Just let him know what you're feeling. Whether it's good or bad, whatever, let him know. I need your help. Talk to me. And then be willing to listen. Maybe go into some meditation where you're going away somewhere and just quiet. And I promise you, it may be speaking to your heart. It may be a song that you hear. It may be something that someone utters. I promise you, if you will make an effort to connect with God, he will make the effort to connect back with you. I promise you. Number two, I'm going to strongly recommend, if you don't have a counselor, if you don't have a therapist, I believe that every human being across the face of the earth needs a therapist. I love my therapist because I know that my therapist is a safe place, that I can go and I can talk about whatever is going on in my life in that moment. And I have a safe space, a non-judgmental space. And sometimes it's just to allow me to get it off. And sometimes it's really good professional advice coming back. And the other resource, I'm a part of a personal transformation group. I will be a part of this personal transformation group until I leave this side. And I strongly recommend that you connect with a group, a community of people that are like-minded, that are all about personal transformation, all about becoming the best versions of themselves. And so if you want to find out more about the personal transformation group that I am a part of, then leave something in the comment section, or I'll also leave an email in the in the description where you can shoot me an email. All right. Um, I'm going to be starting a new course with them real soon. Actually, I'm going to be starting an 8-month, very intensive leadership training course with them. I would love to invite you to one of what they call an introduction, where you can see the type of work that they do. This work that they do has had such a phenomenal impact on my life. I shudder to think where I would be, particularly with some of the circumstances I have dealt with in the past. Um, um, I'll say 18 months, but really the last 9+ years with my wife. Um, I miss that woman. With my wife, who got sick and was sick for 6 years before she passed on, and then dealing with the grief, dealing with my children as they have dealt with the grief, and losing my mom on this side a few months ago. It seems like it's been one thing after another, after another, after another. And this group, I'm telling you, they've had such a phenomenal positive impact on my life. And so, once again, in the description, you'll be able to connect with me via email. I'm not much of a social media person, other than, placing these videos on YouTube. Maybe I'll get to that point. I'm just not there just yet. Okay. But if you want to find out more about that personal transformation group, shoot me an email and say you want to find out more about that personal transformation group. Listen, later in this year, I plan on starting a live Zoom. And so, in the comments, if that's something that you would be open to attending, I'd love to hear from you. Yeah, I would love to attend a live Zoom where the focal point is a spiritual journey of transformation. I'd love to hear from you. All right, we do plan on doing that sometime in 2024. Listen, I love each and every one of you. I want to see you win. 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 And I pray that the God of this universe, will smile upon you, will grace you with his unconditional love. You will feel the presence of the Most High, even when you're dealing with the crappiest of circumstances. Until we have our next video post, let's transform the world together, starting with mine, because transformation begins with me and then with yours. See you on our next video post.